Frank, thank you for fitting this into your schedule. Tim, you as well. Brandon, you third.
Yeah, sorry, this is all I got.
No, I'm happy you got anything.
Yeah, me too. I am ready. Dog's ready.
God darn guy.
For your consideration, this is episode 316 of Insert Credit, our Game Awards special. We're recording this episode one day before the Game Awards, and if you're listening to this on release day, it will be several days after the Game Awards, so actually talking about the Game Awards themselves will be of no use to anyone. Instead, we're going to have our own awards show right now. I'm Alex Jaffe for Best Podcast Host, 5 years non-consecutive.
I'm Frank Sfwublin for best idea for next year. We should record this after the Game Awards and get all of the predictions right.
Like it.
I'm Tim Rogers for what I got to make up like a fake award for myself. Is that it?
That's the premise.
That's
Big
it.
nomination.
Yeah. Fake. I don't know. I don't like myself. I don't think of myself in terms of even like joke compliments. Like I'm drawing a complete blank. Sorry. Just skip me. Go to somebody else.
Okay.
Pass.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, nominated for most chihuahuas in my house.
Oh, that's a tight competition.
Shoe-in.
I'm really,
That's a chewed up shoe-in.
Mm-hmm.
A chewin'.
The new one does like shoes. She's learning about that.
So what we're doing this week is we're going to be giving out awards in categories suggested over the years by our own patrons at patreon.com/insertcredit. Over the past 3 or 4 years, one of the more popular categories of questions we get is about the best kind of game or thing in or related to a game.
Mm-hmm.
So I've grouped all of those kinds of questions together for us to pass our judgment. We have a limited time window this week, so I'd like to get through these as quickly as possible. I'll prompt you onward with a horrible buzzer if we get stuck after 3 minutes. Unless otherwise noted, you are not limited to the games of a specific year. So these are of all time.
Okay.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
Our first category is from Gaagaagiins, who would like us to declare the best standardized box art platform frames.
Oh, that's a really good one. I like this. Ooh. Okay. So what immediately comes to mind, it doesn't have to be like just the console. It can be like Konami on the NES, for example.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to establish that. And can you do the exact wording again one more time?
The best standardized box art platform frames.
Box art platform frame. So I'm going to make the argument, check this out, I know this is crazy, for the original Intellivision. I really like the book opening nature of it. I like that the media is sort of seated in something that is holding it very comfortably, and that there is a sleeve for paperwork. I just always like that sort of gatefold. You open it and the thing is inside, and I think it's in the spirit of the question, even though it's not what they're asking.
Yeah, I thought they were asking about like basically
The actual,
the cover.
like the physical frame, but the art frame.
I thought the cover art framework. Yeah.
Right, they're talking about the cover art frame, but I'm saying this is the physical
All
frame.
right. I get it. I think I'm going to go with, as I often do, the PC Engine framework, which is basically you need 3 logos on here, but otherwise you can do whatever you want. And I think that led to a lot of neat stuff that just, it wound up looking like a laser disc cover instead of like a video game a lot of the time. Though sometimes it failed. So, but you get your spicy with your not so spicy.
Yeah. Okay. So just to be clear, the nominees here, the Sega Master System is like the nominee that's there that definitely wouldn't win.
Right.
I would say,
Yeah.
which is, it's there so everyone can clap and acknowledge it. I am a big fan of Sony PlayStation graphic design over the years. And I'm very partial to the original PlayStation vertically oriented spine. The PlayStation 2 top of the DVD case spine is really good as well. Definitely not the PlayStation 3 with that Spider-Man font.
I like how small the PSP made it though. That was a pretty okay one.
The PSP one kind of sucks in comparison. But yeah, it's fun. The PlayStation 5, I love the black logo on white, but I think, and I'm an Xbox boy, I think the PlayStation 4 had the best standardized template of all the modern consoles. And I think the Nintendo Entertainment System for its original Nintendo black box, I think that's really, really ugly and overrated.
Oh, absolutely. Please
Yeah.
stop doing it.
Yeah, really nasty
Like
looking.
any retro product is that.
Yeah.
And it also misses their art direction for whatever that was worth. It wasn't even that good to begin with.
Oh,
and
yeah.
people don't even replicate it correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the PS5 would actually win for me if the box weren't blue. I think if the box were
You
white.
mean the PS4 would come?
PS5.
Time.
The PS4, the PS5 one's white. It's white with the black logo, isn't it?
I'm saying the box, the physical box.
Oh, the physical box. Yeah,
physical box
okay. Yeah, I
should
gotcha.
match with the logo.
I
colors.
got you, Carl.
And for that reason, the PAL PS2 sucked.
Yeah, get out of town, Jerry.
That's true.
Propelleher proposes best scoff.
Scoff?
What is the best scoff in video games?
Like a taunt, right?
We're
It's
asking
like
me to remember narratives. Yeah. Oh, a taunt. That's pretty good.
I just assume every time the main character in Quake 2 jumps that he has just heard something he doesn't agree with and wants to be very dismissive of. Like that, he just says as he turns his head. And that's the most subtle emote he can pull off.
It's a pretty good one. I like Terry Bogart's "Come On, Come On." It's pretty good. Is that really a
Is
scoff?
that a scoff?
I don't know if that's a scoff.
It's a taunt.
I have a questionable scoff when in the Konami X-Men arcade game when I believe you are killed by Magneto. I believe that's what triggers X chickens. Is that a scoff?
I don't
Is he
know.
scoffing at your abilities by calling you X chicken?
I think it has to be kind of a noise, like a sneer, like a heh.
Well, and this is again probably cheating, but Karin from Street Fighter when she does her that's a
No, that
think
works.
that's a scoff.
That's
I
a
think
scoff.
that's a scoff.
Oh,
For sure,
and
100% a scoff.
In that case, I like the weird chicken-like laughter, which is found in both Punch-Out and in the Game Over screen for Zelda 2. It's the same laugh. Look it up.
So it's all
Ooh.
chickens with you.
Yeah. I think we've reached a definite next question now, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Rice9 suggests best eSport of the 1980s.
Dog patch.
Dog patch.
Nah, Balloon Fight, dude. Balloon Fight.
What makes Balloon Fight better than Dog Patch?
It's just good as heck. You ever played it? Like,
Not as
I
good as
have.
Dog patch.
Yeah.
Dog
Dog patch.
Brandon,
Patch.
I just found our Dog patch video yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I had lost it because it's on YouTube unlisted.
Maybe we should we'll share it with the podcast.
Oh, why don't we keep it unlisted and we'll share it exclusively?
Yeah, on the Patreon or
oh,
whatever.
yeah, look out. That's a real treat there.
It's
right.
not much of a treat.
You're gonna have
But
a
it
real
is, honestly, it is the best representation of the gameplay for that game. That I've
This
seen.
is what people pay for on YouTube.
It's actually
Patreon,
like-
right? This is what
Yeah,
they want. Yeah.
this is what your $3
This
a
is-
month gets you.
It's actually video of people who know how to play Dog Patch, though. And there is not a two-player people actually playing Dog Patch video out there.
Yeah,
so.
you go to arcadeplay.com or whatever.
And it's just like, I loaded this in MAME for 12 seconds and I didn't
Yeah.
understand, but here's some content, idiot.
And there's like some weird background noise that sounds like a I don't know, like a space heater or whatever.
Right. And there's just like every time like something happens in the game, there's a big like chunk. And it's, what are you using?
the IBM Model M keyboard with like a microphone inside of it.
You can find other footage of Dog Patch, but this is the only footage of Dog Patch that exists as an esport.
It's true.
Okay, next.
All right. Next, Breadytodie asks for the best overtly political Japanese game.
Best overtly
Best?
political Japanese video game.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I can think of a lot of bad examples.
Are we judging the politics or the
I think
game?
we're
the quality of
yeah.
the game, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If it's the quality of the game, that's different from the quality of the politics.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's just roll the dice on which Metal Gear Solid I like today.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's probably
dude.
the
And
one.
Metal Gear Solid 2,
Yeah.
for the whole speech about the internet at the end, and the fact that it concludes a video game where everybody wanted to play as one guy and then had to play as another guy and see the guy they wanted to play as in third person, and that they kept it secret and punked people. The fact that game that was executed that way and with those kinds of statements that continue to be relevant today, I don't know. Death Stranding, you could even include...
It's not Metal Wolf Chaos, I'll just say that.
Yeah, I was thinking Death Stranding.
Yeah, it's not Metal Wolf. Metal Wolf Chaos is part of the problem when it comes to talking about politics and video games.
Yeah, I was going to say we should just exclude that, but I was hoping no one would bring it up, and here it is.
I just brought it up to exclude it.
It's bad dudes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Bringing it up to exclude it is good, but let's Shoryuken upside down Shoryuken it into the ground by saying it's not political. It's about the president of the United States, but it is a plot written with crayons on toilet paper, right? Like, that's part of the joke.
It's about the president of the United States in the same sense that, like, a Fire Emblem is about a prince. Yeah.
Well, some of those earlier Fire Emblems have a bit
princes.
of they have a lot of like historical. There's actually there's knowledge that went into writing a lot of those.
The comp would be the Independence Day movie. Is that about a president?
I guess so. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, let Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. There you go. That's the same level.
Yeah.
As Metal Wolf Chaos.
Okay. So a Kojima game is the answer there. Cole wants to know best campfire scene in a video game.
Now, the Chrono Trigger one is the one that gets that just immediately comes up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones in Grandia. There's
Oh yeah, let's just go with Grandia.
Yeah.
Let's just
I'm not going to go with that.
Let's just go with Grandia because it's not Chrono Trigger, which is the famous one, the favorite.
Grandia has a lot of good moments around the campfire, and it's got a good vibe during it. Maybe not necessarily. Final Fantasy 15 also pretty fun, but only for like emergent reasons. I would say less so for the actual content of the campfire.
Those boys have good campfires, but I am going to say that the best campfire scene in a video game of all time is an incredibly emotional moment in Mother 3.
That's a good one.
Is very like heart-wrenching through very simple sprite work, and therefore is the best. Like, it conveys what it needs. It conveys real emotional acting in a moment that's incredibly serious.
Oh yeah,
through very, very simple puppetry. And I think it's a remarkable scene. That is my pick.
Remarkably wonderful. I'm impressed that Brandon mentions just the idea of having a campfire in Final Fantasy 15 and not the campfire scene from Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
That game's full of campfires, but the very, very last thing you see in the game is a campfire. That's a spoiler. I'm sorry if you've never played Final Fantasy 15. The campfire scene at the very end of Final Fantasy 15 is very nice.
Yeah, where he learns his final recipe. And
I'm going to say Chrono Trigger so that my haters don't assassinate me. I'm sure that some of my haters are just being like, if he doesn't vote for Chrono Trigger, if he doesn't show his support for Luca's mom, he's in the trash.
I'm just
my haters with the sniper rifles across the street.
I'm going to say another one that it's not is Sakuna of Rice and Ruin, which has you eat around a hearth, and a lot of this, almost all the story happens there, but it is full of unturn-offable eating sounds the entire way through the story, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Awful.
Don't like that, no.
IntergalacticWalrus says, best playable non-anthropomorphic animal. Rideable animals do not count.
Rideable animals?
Rideable animals.
There's you could be the cat thief in Tenchu. I forget which Tenchu it was exactly. It was like a remake of 2 or something. I can't remember. I think it was on the PS2 and the Wii. But you could be a cat thief ninja. That's a pretty good one. I don't know if it's the best, but it rocketed into my mind.
I'm not familiar. Is that not anthropomorphic?
No, you're just a cat.
It's a cat.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a loser here, but I've got to say it's not the Velociraptor from Jurassic Park Rampage Edition for the Sega Genesis. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's also not anything in Primal Rage, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Is the dog in Dog Story technically anthropomorphic because it can speak?
No.
Yeah, so maybe it's that guy.
Jaffe, I think you're actually the expert here for some reason. What is anthropomorphic?
I think anthropomorphic requires proportions, walking upright, right?
I think so too.
Bipedal, can pass for human. Hangs out with Talkie Tawny from the old Captain Marvel comics.
Sylvester the cat is anthropomorphic. Is Tweety Bird?
Yes, I would say Tweety Bird is anthropomorphic.
I meant Dog's Life, not Dog Story.
Tweety Bird has some like cheek lines that kind of look like a person.
Okay,
the simian like.
So Frank, We both like Dog's Life,
Dog's
right?
Life Dog. Well, not genuinely, but but yes, I enjoy it. It's not a good game.
It's got smell-o-vision.
And it's not a good character.
That's true.
I've got a dog living a dog's life right here in my lap. In case you see.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean,
it is a game. The only game where you can poop on the ground, pick it up with your teeth, and throw it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would say it's an interesting game. It's got smell-o-vision.
You clearly haven't played Monopoly at my house, Frank. Come on over next time.
Well, maybe I'm going to stick with the cat in whatever Tenchu it is.
So the cat in Not Stray is what we're going with.
No, definitely
That's
not
right.
Stray.
I'm going to say this out loud. I don't know if anybody knows this. I don't like cats. But I'm willing to say that a cat could be pretty interesting in a video game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
But that's the only place. I'm dogs all the way, baby. Team dog.
I like them both. Like all the animals.
You got to choose one, though.
I don't.
If you had to choose one. No, if you put a gun to your head, what would you choose? I mean, obviously, you've made your choice clearly because you have a dog and you don't have a cat.
I got 2 whole dogs.
Yeah, you've made the choice without speaking it.
It's true.
I'm a turtle man.
Jaffe the Turtle Man.
That's me. Next question.
Secret of the Ooze.
From Spencer. Best game by an American branch of a Japanese company.
Ooh. Oh, that's too much.
Secret of Evermore, dude. I love Secret of Evermore. I love it.
It's a good
I
one.
love Secret of Evermore. I know the composer is dead now. He's been eradicated from the face of the earth, but it has really good music in addition to being an extremely tight video game.
Is Sonic 2?
I'm going to challenge. Yes, I was going to say Sonic 2 is
that cheating?
Sonic 2
absolutely. It's not cheating. No.
Okay.
Yeah, Sonic 2 is not cheating at all, no.
Well, and Sonic 2's got to be in the mix.
Yep. Sonic 2 is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta. That's getting into a real.
Or, of course, Sonic Spinball, everybody's favorite. It's got that amazing.
I actually prefer Sonic 3, but I'm alone, so I will go Sonic 2.
I'd like to
Sonic
nominate
3.
Sonic Spinball for best video game to play while getting a haircut.
I like Sonic and Knuckles.
I think Sonic 3 and Knuckles might be cheating, actually.
No, I said Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, I know, but both. I think Sonic 3 and Sonic
and Knuckles.
Or either and or, but like separate or combined, I think would be cheating because yes, done in America, but in a locked room of only Japanese staff.
Right.
So I think that might be cheating.
Yeah, that is true.
But Sonic 2 is not. Sonic 2 was a hybrid situation. Sonic 2 counts.
I think I'm going to go with Sonic.
I'm still standing by The Secret of Evermore, man. It's a really good.
What was the secret anyway?
Who knows? The secret was they wanted a title that they could use the same font as Secret of Mana, so they could have a similar battle system.
I never knew what the Secret of Mana was either.
Going on 30 years, well, the secret there was that they needed a name for a video game that was called Seiken Densetsu. That didn't have a 2 in it and it did not require people to think it was a sequel to the Final Fantasy adventure. But that's a little too much information. Secret of Evermore, they basically wanted a title that they could put in the same font as Secret of Mana so that 30 years later people would still complain that it wasn't 3 players, which is the thing everyone says when you mention it. You couldn't even play it 2 players. It's like, yeah, but it was really good. It was a JRPG. It was an action RPG. It was an RPG. And it was somehow very CRPG-y. So it was just kind of a beautiful, eclectic, very modern video game that just kind of appeared. And it was published by Squaresoft.
Well, and then to answer Brandon's question, in Ron Gilbert's Return to Evermore, he answers the question of what the secret was.
Very
the whole
good.
time.
Very good. Okay, I'll play that and find
What was it?
We have to play to find out.
There's a lot of context, and I couldn't explain it within the time limit.
Ooh.
I liked that joke, Frank.
The secret of Evermore was that it was
it.
virtual reality all along. So I just spoiled it for
It was
everybody.
all a dream. Okay, go for it.
Larky says, most incidentally educational game.
Incidentally.
I don't know if this counts, but the Carmen Sandiego games were not considered educational during their creation.
Really?
It was meant to be entertainment. Yeah.
That's fun.
Like it was tacked on after the fact when they realized teachers were using it. So maybe historically, that's the answer.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I like that.
I've been looking for the game that will accidentally teach me how to play Riichi Mahjong, but
Oh yeah, they don't do that.
they don't do it.
they don't want to do that.
They
no.
just want you to
You
know.
got to learn the way I learned, man.
Yeah.
You got to learn the way I learned, and it's very humiliating.
That's right.
Most
hard,
of the time.
long, and confusing way.
You're going to have people yelling at you in a language you half understand. That's the way to learn Reach Mahjong.
Yeah.
Should be young as well.
I'm working on
People learn them drums from Rock Band, right? Like some
That's
people
true.
graduated. Yeah.
That's true. I friend of mine, Russ, he plays now in bands from the drumming he learned in Rock Band. So that's definitely an answer for sure.
Yeah, drums specifically.
Incidentally educational, though. What's an example that's not directly a game that is just directly asking you to ape a real world skill that just manages to incidentally teach you something, though?
I know there are games that teach you empathy.
I think I told you all maybe about how somebody learned about the anime Gunsmith cats from playing the Demon School demo. Is that
so I mean, when I hear the word educational, I think in terms of like a scholastic academic sense, not I learned how to be a better person or whatever.
Right.
Stuff they don't care about that in school.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, how about Typing of the Dead? Like, they weren't trying to teach you typing, but you could become a faster, better typist doing
There
that.
are classes in school for typing, yeah. But also Typing of the Dead, I don't want to be a jerk about Typing of the Dead at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday.
It was a fun gimmick at the time.
I think it's fun forever. And the Lupin one's even better.
I never had any problems with it. It was just one of the only games in the world that I was able to just instantly beat with 0 failures.
Yep.
It's like the only, I think maybe the only game I've ever played where I sat down and just not.
Was that bad?
No tremor in my hands. It felt like eating cotton candy.
Was that bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I played House of the Dead 2 and enjoyed it before that. And it was like, oh, you've taken the thing I like out of the game. Ain't nothing wrong with pointing a gun. That's education. Right?
That's time also.
Mm-hmm.
For
when those immigrants come and shut down the democracy.
Some of those Call of Duties do teach you some stuff about, I mean, I'm not even kidding.
The problem is the immigrants want the democracy. We have
that is time. That is time,
shut
folks.
down the democracy.
No, hang on. We got to talk about this. Folks.
Some of them Call of Duties? No.
Okay,
From
keep going, Jed.
Rear Naked Window, best game exclusive to a legitimately bad console.
Ooh.
Oh, take your pick. They all suck.
Okay, what's a bad console?
The Jaguar is bad.
Yeah.
The 3DO is bad. The CDI is bad.
I don't agree that the 3DO is bad.
Why not?
Is it pronounced 3DO or 3DO?
It had really good specs for its time. Like, it was actually a really nice system in its time, which was like 93 or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Way
okay.
the Warrior was good. That's a joke. That game was really bad.
CDI is a bad video game platform.
CDI is awful, yeah. But those Zeldas are pretty good.
PCFX
That's
is
a
also
joke.
bad.
PCFX
Okay.
blows, yeah.
Yep. But I think Alien vs. Predator is good. Tempest
Jaguar?
2000 is good on the Jaguar. Those two are good.
Rayman's all right. That's what I discovered.
That's true.
When finally exploring that library.
Rayman's a good one.
Rayman. Everybody loves Rayman, though.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's been said.
I want more bad consoles. I'm trying to think. The controller on the Intellivision, right? Like, makes it a bad console, I think.
That's not a bad console, though.
Okay.
I think Bonk's Revenge for the TurboGrafx, that's a joke for
Blasted.
Brandon. That
Blasted.
was a good
Thanks.
one.
Thanks.
No, I think the PC Engine is just fine.
More like the Turd Pro.
Nice.
Gross picks.
The Turd Pro Graphics.
I think the Long Grisser FX is pretty good.
That's a sweet one.
It's not perfect though.
God, Long Greaser is such a great name for a video game.
It's true.
Long Ripper. God, has there been a metal band called Long Greaser?
Gotta
I know
be.
that talking about band names is the lamest conversation in existence, but I've been in enough bands to have that conversation and say Long Greasers would be a really good name for a band. So
I think Cross Swords 2 was at
Neo
first
Geo CD.
exclusive to Neo Geo CD, and Neo Geo CD
That's
is
true.
a bad console because it takes
Mm.
too friggin' long
Mhm.
to load everything.
I was just playing Cross Swords 2 a couple days ago
It's a pretty hot one.
on my Mister.
I like that.
And
one.
now everyone can finally play Samurai Showdown RPG and go, oh, I don't care.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's translated now, and now you can see that why they never translated it.
Should we start some stuff about it and say that it's like as good as Panzer Dragoon Saga? If you're listening to this podcast, start telling your friends that Samurai Showdown RPG is as good as Panzer Dragoon Saga, actually.
If you play one translated ROM this year, not Mother 3, Samurai Showdown RPG.
See if you have any friends that understands what that means.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, next.
Okay, this one's from Alex Jaffe. Best video game to name your band after.
I know that guy.
Oh, Lawn Greaser.
Dragon Force, dude.
Oh, Dragon Force. Actually, aren't those guys Nazis?
Originally.
I think they are, yeah.
Yeah, originally Nazis.
Not ironically, is that it?
Well, they were Nazis in the "what's the big deal? It's just a joke" kind of way.
Yeah.
Which is one of the worst ways.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all the ways are bad.
No, I
so
can think of worse ways to be a Nazi.
That's true.
I was saying all the ways are bad. It's just one of the worst ways. One of the several, because all of them are the worst way.
I mean,
it's very like if there's a Nazi at your dinner table, kind of.
Is it worse? Is it worse to be a Nazi as what's the big deal, or is it worse to be a Nazi because it's literally the 1930s in Germany and you're a little child?
Yeah.
Is that which one of those is worse?
You're a child being
told Nazis are cool and you go yay, and you have a Nazi.
There's not really opt-in if you're a
Nazi
child.
baseball cap or whatever.
So I'd say the first is worse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Now we just push that forward a couple years.
Yeah,
we don't need to have this conversation.
Where's the opt-in Nazi line? I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
Anyway,
Going back to the question.
Yeah.
I don't like Scott Pilgrim, but Clash of Demon Head's a great band name.
Sure, it's all right. It's all right, but I mean, I'm not a fan of band names that sound like a place, that sound like an event.
I've got a good one. Well, it's maybe too simple, but there's a game on the FM Towns called Rejection. I think that's a pretty good.
That's just a dictionary word, though.
It's just a word. Yeah, okay, I guess that's cheating.
I mean, it's fine if you associate the word rejection most with an FM Towns game. I envy you, buddy. If the first thing you think of when you hear the word rejection is an FM Towns game that nobody you've ever met has heard of, you're living high, dude. That is first world problems.
Okay, I think Lunatic Dawn is a good one.
Lunatic Dawn is pretty good. Lunatic Dawn.
Okay.
I'll just right under the wire. Thexter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thexter is good.
No,
yeah.
it's not
good,
bad.
I'm going with Long Racer.
Anonymous Godhand Lover says, game most like Godhand.
Godhand.
I think other than Godhand.
It depends on when you play Godhand. Well, I mean, for reasons that are not possible to get into here, the answer is 100% Vanquish. So,
yeah, but
it's not. There's no time to get into it here.
But I'm also going to throw out King of Crusher for PS1, which is a terrible game. But it's similar to all the things that aren't very good about Godhand. Mm-hmm. So if you take that angle, there's similarity there. Check it out.
But it's actually, when playing Godhand, it's a little easier to find all the things that are good about Godhand. So I would say in that case, again, for reasons there's just no time to get into, it is definitely Vanquish.
Yeah.
Okay, end question.
End question. You know what? We'll be right back after a quick break.
Tim, I've been watching Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah? How about that show? It's pretty good, right?
I'm enjoying it.
Wait, that's a band name right there.
That's true.
Band of Brothers, dude.
Is Band of Brothers the name that Hanson had before they got an agent?
Oh, that'd be good.
Let's get back to it. Welcome back to the Insert Credit Game Awards special. For those of you just joining us in the middle of the show for some reason,
Why?
We are taking the submissions of best type of game or thing in a game that have been submitted to us over the years at patreon.com/insertcredit and handing out awards to the definitive bests. So don't ask us about these again because we've made our ruling. From Billy, best underwater tunnel in a racing game.
Oh, Billy's got to lose my number with this question.
Stunt Race FX. It's Stunt Race FX.
I believe there's a cool underwater tunnel in that new racing game that is based on the Rush series that has it called
Big Boy Rush.
New Rush game. That new Rush game. I don't know.
Russian Attack?
Yeah, that's the new one.
All right, come on. Are we really not going to talk about the fantastic water tunnels full of giant hamsters in the original Earthworm Jim? Hilarious.
We made a promise to never talk about that game on this show again, Frank.
I made no such promise.
It was a sacred
Really
vow.
good Tommy Tallarico music in that game, though.
Oh
dude.
yeah, it was at the top, the peak of his form,
top of his game. There,
top of his.
he was really good at just like ugly sounds that just don't. Yeah.
Also, he didn't compose either of those games.
Yeah, I know. That's the best part. That's the best part.
Cruise and Blast is what I was thinking.
But he did convert the compositions into
Cruise and Blast. Yeah, I love the name. I still love that name, Cruise and Blast.
Yeah, my two favorite verbs.
I can't remember if there actually is an underwater thing in there or if I made it up though.
Cruise and Blast.
I think there's an underwater.
That's like an obscure Lucky and Wild sequel, Cruise and Blast. I'm just going with the Stunt Race FX tunnel where you go in the underwater tunnel and it looks really stupid.
Sounds fine to me.
Because it was really exciting.
Has there been like a game where, I don't know, like a slower narrative game where you walk through one of those aquarium tunnels?
BioShock.
BioShock.
BioShock's is a game length.
It is a game that is literally.
But I believe the question was racing games, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
But also BioShock, that is a racing game technically because I'm trying to get through it as quickly as I can.
Right, just like Earthworm Jim. And actually, that level did have a timer on it, so that counts. I'm going to count it.
Kaboom.
Next one from Sfwublin.
What?
Best mine carts.
Best mine carts. Not Donkey Kong Country. No. Not those.
A lot of minecart sequences are frustrating, but I enjoyed a frustrating one recently in Little Ralph's Big Adventure.
Oh, Chipo Gerarfu no Daibo Ken.
Indeed.
Yeah, I know that one.
Which, by the way, I'm making a stand here on the podcast. We got to stop calling that game Adventures of Little Ralph because it's clearly a Daiboken. It's a big adventure.
Big adventure. Little Ralph's Big Adventure. Yeah.
Big Adventure is what we should call it, people.
Yeah.
Get it together. Start editing that Wikipedia page right now, because that's what. Anyway, it was that's a frustrating one, but kind of fun. Frustrating. It's fun-strating. So
I'm gonna cheese bag it, and I'm gonna say the answer is we need to stop. When we hear the word minecart, we need to stop thinking about the 2-second scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom where the minecart jumps from one track to the other because that's all that anyone ever does with any minecarts in any video game. And I'm just going to say I recently played in that Totke, Zelda Tchotchke, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda Tater Tots, and you can put a little fan, blower, blade, helicopter.
You can make anything a minecart.
On literal minecarts on minecart tracks, and then you can set them off and blast yourself down a minecart track that goes all in a whole bunch of loop-de-loops. And everywhere they've got minecart tracks, it's fun. It turns out that for me, it's just really exciting to have the comfort of rails in at certain parts of a video game that's all about freedom. The juxtaposition is delicious. So that's what I would say.
Is Panzer Dragoon Zwei the best minecart?
Oh, yeah. Best rail shooter.
Yeah.
I don't know if game jams are still a thing, but it would be cool to see a minecart theme game jam. Just approach minecarts from different perspectives.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
And then be the only person there who makes a minecart game that doesn't have jumps in it.
Yeah.
I kind of conceptually, though not in execution, like how Alundra approached minecarts as essentially like maze components because they take you along to certain zones and certain tracks, and it's like how do these connect? It was a neat idea that I didn't like very much in execution, but
that's
fun to think about. That's a lot of Alundra.
Alundra is a cornucopia of a bunch of they went there and did it, and they planted their flags. I still love that game. One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, but I don't like it, if that makes sense.
It's good, and I do like it, and it's just got some dumb stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's no Landstalker, I'll give it that.
That's time.
It's got some graphics, got some music. Okay, keep going.
Justin Hamrick says, most dangerous video game.
Ooh. Dangerous.
There's the kururin, or whichever version it is of irritating stick where it blows air in your face, and what if there's particles in there? Hurt your eyeball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone hasn't played it in quite a while. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the smell that comes out of that.
Shoot some dust into your eye, or the smell too. Like
I love that warm electronic.
What if there's
smell?
COVID in there? Someone puts a bag of COVID inside.
Well, that's why game jams don't happen anymore. Is because there's too much COVID.
That's right.
All of the game jammers, they all died of COVID.
Yeah, no one makes games from their houses. Yeah.
Oh, also, if you read the news, one of the more dangerous games is Pokemon Go, because people are looking at their phones and getting hit by cars and walking.
Is that currently in the news?
No. If you read, I should have said if you read the news.
I was just in Midtown Manhattan an hour ago, and I was at Rockefeller Center for a reason, and the tourists. I've never actually been to Rockefeller Center during the Christmas season. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tourists that I had to make my way through, and all of them staring at their phones, and a few of them playing Pokemon Go. I assume
Nice.
You're going to get hit by a bus if you look at your phone all the time.
That's true.
It's gotten a lot worse. Have you noticed that? So any mobile game, I would say.
So I'm going to go proto mobile. I don't remember the real name, but it was Feel the Magic on the DS launch title by Sega.
Yeah, Robe Rabbits.
Yeah.
I think the second one was Rob Rabbits, right? What was the first one?
Who
I
cares?
don't remember.
Is this XXXY?
Yes.
Yeah.
Feel the Magic XXXY, yeah.
There is a mini game where you do, I don't know what you do, but then at the end of it, to conclude the mini game, it asks you to say out loud into the microphone, "I love you."
That's
Oh,
Love
yeah.
Plus.
That could be a really dangerous situation.
Love
Depending on
Plus was a dating simulation.
I know the director of that game. Pretty good
Of
guy.
Love Plus?
Takumi Yoshinaka. Of Feel the Magic.
Oh. Feel the Magic is it's no Balan Wonderworld. Do you remember when that game was being bandied about by the press as Yuji Naka, creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, is back?
Yeah.
And it's like, he's back with this? That's like my dog is back from the park with a dead rat. It's like, okay. All
You
right.
were pretty apologetic about that game when it came out.
Yeah, well, me specifically. I like it. I'll apologize for it right now.
That's all right. Whatever. But I mean, it's not what anybody really
No,
expected.
it's true. It's truly, even I who liked it would not say he's back.
it is a 505 Game Street ripoff of Super Mario Odyssey, having now played it.
Pro Skater 4 says most evil video game.
Evil.
Evil?
I don't know anything about Zynga.
Yeah.
I think those were like genuinely evil.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there's still there's plenty of games like that that are predatory in their stealing your
Yeah.
time and your money and your,
I mean, right now, I mean, I don't want to like speak like 100% authoritatively about this, but the games that the predatory games that steal your money now are mostly like stealing mom's money because she has her credit card information put in the phone and the kid buys Fortnite dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's, partially somebody else's fault, but also when you look at the value of what you get for your Fortnite V-Bucks versus what you used to get for microtransactions, the value has skyrocketed. Like what you actually get for your money is enormous now versus what you used to get. So I think the most evil video games were the Facebook era social games.
That makes
I think I got one to sneak in here, which is the crypto game that was going for a while that had where people were like hiring teams of dudes in the Philippines to grind in it to try to get money out of it.
Cooking Mama?
That was not Cooking Mama.
Wasn't there a rumor a while ago that there was this shareware Cooking Mama game that mined crypto when you downloaded it?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't shareware, but yeah, there was some rumor about that. But there was an actual game that
It was a Switch game, right?
Yeah.
a crypto game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not that one.
I think when you're talking evil, you've got to there's such a thing as evil intentions, but then there's actually the execution. And I just really think I know I have some data. A lot of those Facebook games were actually made with evil intent, and
To trick you.
they executed very well. They got within a molecule's breadth of committing fraud, and it was quite remarkable. So I would just say Farmville.
Yeah, I'm on board.
If not like a Mafia Wars or whatever Zynga's ripoff of Mob Wars was. I don't know. We don't need to get too much in. I don't want to talk about Zynga too much here.
No, we have time for one more, and this one comes from Erica, who would like us to declare the most video game video game.
Oh,
I really am trying not to say Yakuza, but come on.
And I'm trying not to say dead or alive beach volleyball.
No, but
Nice.
that's a cynical answer and a well too trodden answer.
Oh no, I was just I was making an
just
ass
because of the
joke.
word ass.
I was just making an ass
I mean,
joke.
that's not the Jaffe misaccentuated the or perhaps the question asker mishyphenated the three words. You want to have hyphens between video and game but. You
Right.
want to have hyphens.
I think Yakuza is probably it, because not only is it such a video game, but also a very immersive experience. It also has video games in it that you can play.
It has video games in it. Yakuza games. I was just watching like some footage last night of myself, microphone off, playing the final battles of Lost Judgment, right?
Mhm.
Which is Lost Judgment is this story about a lawyer who's a detective, who's a lawyer, who's
Yeah.
a detective, who's a lawyer, and
Yeah.
a detective who also knows kung fu and beats people up. Played by Takuya Kimura. His best friend's a Yakuza guy.
and is 50 years old, but dresses like he's 23 from 2003.
Yeah, but I mean, let's not age shame the guy. He's a good-looking man, and he should dress well.
He should
he's
dress well. I agree.
He's a good-looking middle-aged man, and one of his things is he just dresses well. I follow him on Instagram. His Instagram is great. He's always wearing a mask, which is incredible. He's
Yeah,
and he never says anything about it. He's just wearing a mask all the time. Anyway, I'm watching the end of it, and it's like, this is, sure, is it a JRPG? Yeah. Is it a modern AAA video game? Yes. Is it what I would call JAAA? Yes. Does it have fighting vipers in it? Yes. And then it's like, it ends with a big old showdown at a warehouse by the port in Yokohama, where you're fighting people in a rainy parking lot, and then inside of a warehouse, and then there's cranes, and it's just like, it ends in a goddarn straight up Streets of Rage level. How much more clear do they have to make it that the brawler is 1,000,000% alive in the year 2021?
Yeah.
And then the final battle's in a freezer. Sorry if that's spoilers to anybody. I'm not, there's so many plot details flying all over the place that it's not really spoilers to say the final battle is in a freezer, like a fish freezer, which is like a cool place.
Yeah, I don't think quite often the location of the final battle is.
It's like such an irrelevant detail.
Yeah.
A judgment, the final battle's in a hospital hallway with just all the windows blown out.
I would say Yakuza 6 is the only one where the final battle's location is a spoiler.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But anyway, those are the real video games, man. So if we have to pick one of those, Yakuza 0, I guess.
0.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yakuza 0.
And that's time.
Yeah.
Once again, we've bookended this year, I suppose, almost.
By talking about Yakuza.
By talking about Yakuza 0.
Yeah, we did it. That's good.
Does anyone have any recommendations before we shut this down?
I have a recommendation for that's probably that there's only very few people in the world who can take this recommendation, and they're probably not listening. But I feel like today is the right time to say this. And I said it last year, and I said it the year before, and I say it on my live streams. If you are part of the committee that plans the Game Awards with Jeff Keighley, I'm not going to say get the guy to wear a better suit. He needs a suit that looks good. He looks like a little boy who got to choose his suit, and he looks awful. And now I'm talking about his suit, and I said I wasn't going to. If you're part of the committee that plans the gaming awards, there's got to be better award categories, man. They're insane. Yeah. The award categories are nuts. Like it's horrible. It's like best indie game, best action game, best action adventure game, best gamers game,
best graphics. I mean, it's like it's like categories from like EGM in 1995 or something.
That's exactly the joke I was going to make.
Yeah, it's like, why can't it be like best music track? Yeah. And then Streets of Rage 2 Stage 1 would have won in its year, right? Why can't it be like best place in a video game?
Well, that's expecting a lot from an
I
award
know
show
it is.
that includes the category most hyped.
I know. This is what I'm saying, though.
Forever. No, what you're saying is we need.
They need to turn the cruise ship around. They got to turn the cruise ship around over a period of like a decade.
Okay.
Start dripping in better categories, right? To a point where just add one a year, where it's something that like the sort of thing that's meaningful. Best animations. Best like character animations, right?
Do they even have best character?
No, they don't even have best
God.
character. They have best performance, but they don't have like best character.
Okay.
They don't have like best. And this is getting into like some MTV awards things. It's like they don't even have like best scene, best romance. They don't have anything like that. It's just super general categories that are very clearly just they're the potatoes, and the trailers for hot upcoming video games are treated as the meat. In these things, right?
Best boss fight, best traversal.
Yeah, best boss fight, best traversal mechanic, best vehicle.
Yeah,
right.
So
like
easy. It writes itself.
Yeah, it's like you could sit down and brainstorm. And here's the thing, GK, if you're listening, first of all, I'm sorry what I said about your suit. You don't look like a little boy. You look like a man wearing a little boy's suit.
And Kojima's definitely your real friend.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think
really
he actually is.
Oh, I think
they actually are. But also, I'm sorry about what I said about your suit. It's true. You do look like a little boy wearing a man's suit, looking like a man wearing a little boy's suit at the same time, inserted into opposite ends of a large hadron collider. Like, and then the button is pressed. That's what you look like. I'm sorry. You got to wear like the right. Just you go to Men's Warehouse. It's like $300. You can rent yourself a black tuxedo. It's fine. You probably get somebody to make you one for a little. I'm available for consultation, Jeff Keighley, about where to get a suit, and also where which tailors I can recommend. I actually, and I'm not going to get into this. I'm available to talk to you about what awards you can have if you need someone to chair a committee. I'll get in there and I'll do it not pro bono, but as close to pro bono as I get.
You're also presuming that there are people who actually play a lot of video games.
Yeah, they don't like. Nobody cares.
No.
Yeah, I'm on the. I've got screeners here for awards, right? Like I got awards screeners over here, just a pile of them in my right hand. Right, I got a whole bunch of them. They're just on DVD. I don't watch any of this stuff, and I'm not gonna. I know that 90% of the Academy Awards voters don't even watch any of the movies. Did you know this?
Yeah.
They just don't watch. They don't watch anything.
I've seen the pile on my friend's table.
They receive DVDs. I receive scripts, and I'm expected to vote for best screenplay, best original, best adapted screenplay. Like, I don't know who actually. Like, I'm sure a lot of people read all this stuff, but I know that like
I'd
most
probably
people
watch the movies. I wouldn't read the scripts though.
Well, I mean, yeah, you'd probably watch the movies, but it's like it's a lot of them, right? To a point where it's like I end the season with a pile of about 120 DVD-Rs that I'm not legally allowed to throw away. One fun thing is backstage at comedy shows talking to people about how they recently bought DVD shredders so they can shred the DVDs at the end of the season so they don't get stolen out of their trash and get reported to the authorities.
These screeners wind up in thrift stores across Los Angeles.
They do.
Because you can't track that. So
yeah, and I mean, at least they're not getting paid for it when you drop it at a thrift store. You're just getting rid of it. I stack mine up in a pile and hit it with a hammer at the end of the awards season, so that and it's actually kind of hard to break some of these things.
Yeah,
I'm considering getting a DVD shredder. That's how much of a problem it is.
Frank, you have any recommendations?
Get a DVD shredder.
I don't know if I ever directly ask people on our Patreon here to go to my other Patreon. So let's do that.
Shoot.
Patreon.com, gamehistory.org. We could really use a few more members because that's how we kind of determine our day to day. That's our one stronghold financially in these trying times is our Patreon.
I've really been enjoying your advent calendar.
Thank you.
Treat in my inbox every day from video game history.
25 treats.
Love a treat.
Yeah. Brandon, got anything real quick?
Okay, I have a couple things that I'm going to probably recommend next week.
All right.
But this week, I'm going to recommend a song that is not my usual type of music, that is more, I would say, Tim's type of music.
Wow.
Of a certain time. Mr. Ray's Wig World has a song called Faster Kitty Cat Play, and it's a very, proto-grunge Steve Albini style.
I love that Albini. Chicago music?
rock music song, but it is from the United K, and it's one that they didn't have. They put out 2 EPs and then they disappeared from the universe. So it's just one that you can check out that you might not have checked out before. So give it a look.
They finally got Chicago over there in England.
Yeah, they finally got it.
I like Chicago. Y'all ever been there?
Jaffe, it's your turn.
It's my turn. I would like to make some recommendations. I would like to recommend if you enjoyed this episode of Insert Credit, please rate and review our show wherever and however you can. You could go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/insertcredit, which pays our hosting costs, our editor, and me. If you'd like to sponsor our show with an advertisement.
It actually doesn't pay our hosting costs. I pay that by myself. But
I
keep
thought
going.
okay, let's figure out where what goes on too often. If you'd like to sponsor our show with an advertisement or personal message, please do that by contacting us at show@insertcredit.com.
Show@insertcredit.com.
Show@insertcredit.com. It's been a while since we've run an ad. Maybe you can change that.
If you'd like to take a dump while listening to this show, we can't stop you.
You can also join our community at forums.insertcredit.com or find videos of these episodes on youtube.com/insertcreditshow. This episode is edited by Esper Quinn with original music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Frank Sfwublin.
I'm Tim Rogers.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
And Esper, please play your choice for the best video game scoff here.
How very clear.
Game over,
Belgium, Bulgaria, they're all bulging.